Welcome back to another video, English for Programmers. We are dedicated to help you succeed in the English world as well as the software world. Today we're going to talk about intonation. If you've never heard of intonation, it's basically how your pitch changes throughout the way you talk. For example, you can have a rising pitch or you can have lowering pitch. So let's get started. Rising intonation, you can say yes or no questions. The pitch of the voice rises at the end of the sentence. And for lists, the pitch rises with each item except the last one. Let's read the examples. Did you check the error logs? Yes, no, right? Is this the final version of the code? It has rising intonation. Today, I'll work on fixing the bug, updating the documentation, testing the new feature, and refactoring the code. So the intonation went down with the last item. Next example. In today's meeting, we'll discuss the project timeline, review the new requirements, plan the next sprint, and address any blockers. The next example is falling intonation. You can use this for statements where the pitch of the voice falls at the end of the sentence, with WH questions, where questions starting with who, what, where, when, why, and how usually have falling intonation. Commands, the pitch falls at the end, so let's look at some examples. The client is satisfied with the current progress. That's a statement. Where did you encounter the bug? Falling intonation. Please write out unit tests for the new function, which is a command. Next, we have rising and falling intonation. So you can use this when offering choices. The pitch will rise with the first option and fall with the last. Or when you want to emphasize contrast, you want to use rising and falling intonation as well. So the first example says, should we implement the new feature now or wait for the next sprint? And we need to test the functionality thoroughly, not just assume it works. Finally, we have tag questions. We can use this for confirmation in combination with rising intonation. So when the speaker is unsure and is asking for confirmation, or when you want to ask for certainty, then you use falling intonation. Let's look at the examples. The client feedback was positive, wasn't it? Which is a form of confirmation. And you replicated the issue, didn't you? Which is a form of certainty. Let's look at some more examples. Did you commit the changes? We need to test the login feature, update the user interface, write documentation, and deploy the application. With the new API, the endpoint is working correctly. What caused the server to crash? Merge the pull request. Do you want to work on the front end or the back end? Focus on improving the code quality, not just adding new features. You've reviewed the bug report, haven't you? The integration tests are all passing, aren't they? And finally, some tips for practicing your own intonation. Listen to yourself and imitate. Listen to native speakers through movies, podcasts, or conversation partners, and try to mimic their intonation patterns. You should record yourself. Record your speech and compare it with native speakers. Focus on matching the intonation patterns. Mark intonation in text. Take a script or a piece of text and mark where the intonation should rise or fall. Practice with questions and statements. Alternate between asking questions and making statements to practice different intonation patterns. And finally, use songs and rhymes. Singing along to songs or reciting rhymes can help in understanding natural intonation. All right, thank you very much, and please subscribe if you like this video. Thanks.